guys? Welcome back to another great episode of Redirekt, the podcast where we redirect purpose through fresh conversations, ideas, and perspectives. As you know, I'm your boy, the host with the most, KARION. With me, we got Raven.
What's up, y'all?
And also, we got DEVON.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
I
have a whole thing, but I was like, am I going to do it? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm DEVON.
Locked up DEVON, because he got some starter locks over here this week.
Okay, I'll go with that. I had a whole thing, but that's
you didn't seem pleased with that new nigga.
Because I had a whole thing.
All right, go ahead. You had the chance to use it, and you didn't use it.
I'm going to let you use it.
February is over, and he lost all his powers. He's starting.
No, I got him back.
Level 0.
Got my crown back. KARION was supposed to say this, but I'll say it. We forgot to mention Women's History Month last episode. So
who is we? DEVON forgot.
No, everybody, Raven included.
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
So because of that, we're gonna mention it this podcast, and because of that, I will go with Raven's little intro for me because it's Women's History Month.
He's still wasn't pleased with it.
What's the? Oh, because I'm a woman.
Yes, we're praising women. And we will.
So this is how we repay them for missing Women's History Month. Is just that little.
This is how we repay you.
Yes, and we'll refer to you as Queen Raven.
Okay, the whole podcast.
QR.
Yes.
The whole episode.
I'm calling you QR.
Oh, that's too much.
QR. Actually, I like that. Yeah, let's stick with that. Okay. Anyways, before we get started, follow us on our socials: Instagram and Facebook at the Redirekt. I don't know why I cannot. Okay, at the Redirekt Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and we want to go ahead and shout out our Black Business of the Week. And this week we shouted out Krabby Callie's, DEVON approved. It's a Black-owned business that sells it's like seafood, right? You said it's seafood.
Well, they have some seafood, yeah, but it's not all seafood.
Tell
they
us
have
about
wings, they got shrimp, they got fish. Salads.
As you can see, DEVON been there multiple times.
Krabby fries. I want to tell y'all something. All the black businesses that we're going to shout out, I have been there, and I go and I support black businesses. I don't know about these two.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, they are located in Virginia Beach, so if you're out here in this area, go ahead and stop by and support them.
Get you some Krabby fries.
And their Instagram name is at Krabby Callie's if you want to do a sneak peek at what they have on their menu. So, yeah.
How are you today, my good people?
I am doing
My
pretty
name's
good.
QR, but go ahead.
I am doing pretty good. I'm excited because I'm taking tomorrow off. Right?
What made you do that?
Doing 40-hour work weeks is something else. I ain't had to work a 40-hour work week in like a year.
Yeah, that's what you wanted though, right?
No!
You said you wanted to work full-time so you can...
Who?
Okay. I mean, you didn't want to, but you needed to.
I want full-time pay without the full-time work.
I don't think that's anybody goal, really.
All these scratch
If I can get paid full-time without having to work 40-hour weeks, I'd do that.
Yeah, all right. But like I said, I needed to do it to work towards my licensure to become an LPC. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing it. You know, trying to build myself some bootstraps and pull them up. Trying to.
I feel like we should have been using that. But anyways.
But
what are you going to do on your day off?
Man, I got to freaking go to the dealership at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Lord. Y'all know how that's about to go.
Tell me why they called me, I think it was yesterday, telling me something. No, it was Friday or yesterday, telling me something. Hey, KARION, you got an appointment up here this weekend, right? You come back up here, right? I said, for what? He said, for you was talking to such and such about, getting a car. I said, bro, no. I said, I'm coming up there this Monday to get my car repaired. He said, oh, just a little mix. I said, mix up my butt. Yeah. But anyway.
So you're going anyways?
My trunk.
He about to be there all day tomorrow.
Nah, because I got to take Tavon to go pick up his rental car, so I'm going to leave my car there. So they can't mess with me. And then
they still going to get him.
Yeah, for $300.
KARION going to be like, hold on, Tavon, let me hear what they have to say.
I run that credit check again, waste their time. Be there for 8 hours.
Waste your time.
That is so funny.
At this point, I told you, it's tradition. But anyway, QR.
Yeah, that's QR.
So I think I did some self-care today or this weekend too. Like this week was just trash. It's allergy season. My throat was acting up. My eyes were burning. Eyes were red, everything. And failed a test and all. So this.
Failed what test?
It was for mental health counseling class.
I thought you about to say that COVID test. Boy,
I would be... No. Okay, yeah. You would want to fail the test, not pass it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I just take a COVID test and I'm negative. I told y'all that.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of us are clear over here, y'all.
Okay,
but
nice.
Yeah, so it's for self-care after that terrible week, I went to Target and I bought some candles.
Okay.
That don't work. So I should have bought candles from the girl from
Candles by Design.
Yeah, I should have bought some for her, but I was like, I don't even feel like bothering
You
her
bought the
right
kind
now.
with the batteries in it? You forgot the batteries?
No, it's just weak candles. Like, they smell good in the actual jar, but they don't.
They don't
The
feel
The aroma's not strong enough for the house or for the apartment. So, but
You are out here buying trash candles.
Right. So
what
Target
happens when you
is
don't
very
support black
therapeutic. Y'all think Target is therapeutic, or is it just me?
It's retail therapy that you like.
Yeah.
I don't do retail therapy. I specifically like Target for retail therapy. Because I don't...
Did she just say she don't do retail therapy?
I don't.
And then Chloe said,
but I'm saying...
You don't do it other places, but you do it at Target.
Yeah.
Retail therapy.
My sisters and my cousins do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do it. Now I'm broke.
No, they like Target specifically. Like, they'll go on Target and they
Just
always
walk
post
around.
some memes and stuff about spending
the lights in there bright. They got good shopping carts.
I think it's the lights.
They bougie. Go to
I think it's the
Walmart.
lights.
Walmart got them busted. They
Walmart
come with
is-
busted
Walmart's
carts.
cheaper.
Walmart's stressful. That's exactly what that is.
That's true. People go to Target so they don't got to deal with Walmart shenanigans.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, Devon, how was your week?
I had a very good week. I rested when I needed to.
I feel like we need a soundboard that claps for Devon. He finally had a good week.
You know what? Stop cutting me off.
Honestly, let's invest in that. Get it on Amazon. Anyways, go
All right,
ahead.
go ahead. Y'all do that. That's fine with me. But yeah, I had a good week. I self-care wise, when I needed to relax and not do certain things as far as my schedule and routine goes, I provided myself with some compassion and just rested. Okay. And I got my locks on Friday by Nala Jones.
Yes.
So yeah,
starting a whole new journey.
Yeah.
It goes by really fast and it's actually really fun.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Next
for them
week is
to
gonna be looking
mature. Look, we ain't worrying about next week. We're living in the moment.
Right, let's just live in the moment. Okay.
We right here, right now.
Okay, so what are we talking about this week?
This week we are talking about expectations, something that is relevant to everybody. And if it's not, you're doing something wrong. What do you say, Cora?
I said, what?
Yeah.
Correct.
Caused a lot of stress in people's lives, I feel like.
Correct. I got a lot of personal stories to share about that.
I be letting people down, boy. They be having so many expectations on me, I just let them down.
You about to let some people down tomorrow, too.
Oh, at the dealership?
Yeah, the dealership.
They're expecting you to buy a car and you are not doing that.
I sure ain't.
So for the purpose of this podcast, we like to have our definitions. So expectations are a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future, and a belief that someone will or should achieve something. Mm-hmm. We talked about a story yesterday. Karan and I have very strong feelings about it. Karan, I hope I don't trigger you by bringing that story up
Karan
today.
was upset.
I was mad too. I was like,
What
stupid.
happened? What was the post?
It was some woman. I don't know who she is. I ain't gonna give her the satisfaction of putting her out there. Her
It's
name.
really not that deep.
No, no, she don't get no shine. We just gonna talk about the
You don't want
story.
people looking her up.
Exactly.
Get more traffic to her page.
But she was talking about how she went out with a friend, and the friend's boyfriend was there, and she ordered.
Let's put it to more context. She went out with her girl, and her girl invited her man out there to eat with them.
So she was third wheeling.
Yeah, she was third wheel. She ordered 2 drinks and an appetizer or something like that.
$24 worth of food.
Yeah.
$24.58, I believe it was.
And when the check came, the boyfriend said,
For 2,
please.
as if he's paying for his girlfriend and himself, and the girl is gonna pay for herself.
She started trashing him. He's trashed this. He's trashed that.
And mind, she called it a basic restaurant.
But she was still there though. Still went to that basic restaurant, ate that basic food, didn't you?
She expected him to pay for all of their food and saying like, this is why y'all are losing women to island men and African men?
She said Africans and Caribbean.
Yeah,
men.
okay.
I have nothing against African or Caribbean men, but y'all can have her. We don't need her.
We the black African American community.
So
Delegation decided
why are
they don't
y'all
need
so
her.
mad about that specifically?
Because she has that expectation that should not be placed on us to pay for her.
So one of our next questions is, not to jump, but just to put it all together, is it fair to place expectations on others? I don't feel like in that instance it was fair for her to put that expectation on him, for him to pay for her. That ain't his girl.
Right?
And what if he doesn't even like her?
Right.
He probably don't, based on what she's talking about.
Right.
First time who knows how the energy was going. So she might have been bougie or whatever, not talking to him, no, see how you doing. You ain't talking, man. I ain't doing that for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why she felt like just because he's a man, he needs to pay for her meal, regardless of how much it costs. It could have been $3.
Right.
But
Yeah, like for a girl's perspective, like for me, I wouldn't even have the thought that he would have paid for my food. Like if he would have said for 2, I'm like, yeah, that was. I probably if she asked me, I'm like, yeah, we're getting for 2.
Yeah.
Like it would have just been automatic for me because he has no obligation towards me, and I wouldn't even expect that, and that took less stress off of me because I'm not gonna get mad when he says a check for 2. So her expectation was let down, and she was mad that she had to pay for her $24.58.
If we ain't dating, I ain't paying. But
I thought about that thing you said last night.
that I mean. But granted, there are no women who I was reading comments and they were saying like there are men out there, even men were saying this, I pay for the whole table, it's not that big of a deal, if you're a real gentleman. That's the expectation again. That's your expectation of what a real gentleman is.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I would never expect my significant other to do that. Because life is expensive, and I'm pretty sure they got a job and they got bills to pay and they ain't got time to be paying for everybody food all the time.
Why didn't she get mad at her friend?
Her friend should be mad at her for posting her boyfriend on social media like that, first of all. Yeah. I hope she's not even friends with her no more.
How would you have responded? Like, let's say...
If I was who?
If you were the friend that had the boyfriend and your female friend was blasting him like he trash,
I would have been pissed.
What would you have said to her?
I probably would have been. I don't even know what I would have said. That I know one thing, that friendship would have probably been like, it would have started deteriorating over time. Because you, instead of like, it would be one thing if you just came to me and you're like, I feel like he should have paid and we could have that discussion. But you're over here trashing my man on Twitter
real quick. He should have paid. No, he shouldn't. He paid for dinner himself.
Right. I'm just like, that's weird. But I probably wouldn't have ended the friendship, honestly, but it probably would have started deteriorating after time. And it's just like, I see where your values are, and our values don't align.
Toxic.
And yeah, it was just kind of toxic. And yeah.
Not gonna lie, a person like that, if I pay, I'm expecting them to pay next time. If this is a true friendship, it needs to reciprocate.
She's trying to get free food. And if it was, what did you say yesterday? It was like, if it was so basic, you should have paid for it yourself.
Exactly.
Right? Shouldn't have been there if it's so basic.
Or you should have left. Or you should have never went. You knew a restaurant, or you could have looked it up.
Yeah.
That was just annoying.
And then her subtweet was like, and don't even be saying nothing because I got multiple streams of income. So, y'all.
While talking about meeting with her sugar daddy and the sugar daddy gonna buy her
stuff.
That's what made it more frustrating for me.
Yeah.
I did some digging last night.
Karan went to
the most research I did this season.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was not deep. Well, honestly, it's probably not deep because I'm not a man and I don't have that expectation on myself. But two, it's just like there are women like that all the time. But there are also girls like, I'm not a pick-me girl. I'm not trying to make it sound like that. But there's also women who don't really expect... I know women who don't like people paying for their stuff, at all. So I know a friend, like, if she goes out with a guy and, like, she doesn't feel like the date went well or she doesn't think she's going to meet with him again, she'll pay for her own food. She's like, no, it's good. I'm going to pay for my own food because I'm probably not going to...
I respect that, though.
Yeah.
I respect that. We could do a whole... Let's say that for a whole other podcast. Because we could talk about that more in detail. So... would you guys agree that placing expectations on other people is natural? Why or why not?
I think, for me, I'll answer and say, like, is it fair? I don't think so in a certain extent of, like, if it's a preset expectation before you even meet that person, it's unfair. Because it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's unfair to expect someone to act the way you want to for your own satisfaction.
Especially without telling them.
Exactly, or even, like, not having a conversation. So.
But I do think it is natural in a sense.
Yeah.
Especially after you know somebody for a while and you kind of know how they move and they operate, so you just kind of expect them to do certain things. To be honest, I expect Devon to have the docket ready by every episode without even saying anything. But if he don't have it, then I'm not going to care. I'm not going to blast him on Twitter or whatever.
Nah, Karan already threatened me and said he was going to beat me, y'all, if I ain't have it together. That's my motivation for getting it every week. Let
the record show that Devon just stated that he is scared of me.
I think we should acknowledge the difference between, and this might be too early to even mention this, but the difference between standards and expectations. So when you can have standards for how you want a friendship to be, and then like, which a standard is like the quality of something, like you're looking for the quality of this rather than expectation is like, I want you to do this and this. I'm expecting you to do this for me in a sense, rather than standards is like, this is what I want in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see the difference there.
So
that makes sense to me.
Yeah. But like, for example, it's a good example that you brought. Like, we have expectations within this podcast. Like, I'm in charge of social media, Devon's docket, and Karan is the audio and the video.
You saw what she did.
Nah,
she did the little air quotes.
I'm kidding. He's in charge of like the technical stuff and stuff like that. So
shade in this.
You know, if one of us were to not fail but have a shortcoming, I feel like you should give room for people to make mistakes.
Yeah, don't bash them. No, give them
within reason.
Yeah.
Now, if Karan was like, he told Raven and I was all week, I've been doing X, Y, and Z. But then when it came for him to like uphold his part of the podcast, he was like, nah, I just ain't do it. I would question, be like, bro, you done told me you done been go-karting, you went on dates, like.
But he accepted that expectation, though. So that I feel like then you have a right to be upset.
Yeah, if I set the expectation myself for myself, then
like we all had a conversation and we set these expectations for each other, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's not preset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say that placing expectations on other people is natural and fair, and everybody does it. I mean, when you first met Karan and I, when you first came to this house, I assume you expected that we would not harm you, talk to you crazy, or anything, you know, like weird would happen.
Okay.
Right? Like those were the expectations that you probably had. You didn't say them to us, but they were probably in your head, right?
Yeah. Same
thing happens when I go to like a grocery store. I expect for them to have most of the stuff in stock so I can get what I need and leave. So I think it's natural. I think the kind of expectations you have is where it gets like different. To go back to the story we talked about, her expectations in that instance were unfair. Like she can have expectations. She could have expected for him to be a gentleman by, you know, like not calling her out her name.
Her definition of gentleman.
Yeah, her definition of gentleman, but not calling her out her name or, you know, not embarrassing them in public. But her expecting him to pay and all that kind of stuff, that's when she started doing too much.
Especially, like I said, the first time meeting them.
Well, was it the first time? Did they have that background information?
Well, I didn't see that far to it, but even if it was just the first time or not.
Yeah.
If he's been paying before all this time, even still, you can't expect him to pay every single time. There's going to be a time where he don't pay, even if he is doing it all the time.
Yeah.
He might be like, he'll pay for it and go home like, babe, I'm tired of paying for her. Why is she always around when we go eat?
Her nasty attitude.
Right? That kind of challenges my thought that, because I kind of let go of having expectations in a way. But then since you brought up, like, when I go to the grocery store, I'm expecting there to be, what I need to be there. However, say that I'm specifically going to Walmart for lemons, and they have no lemons.
The Raven throws up.
She turned to a fully involved Karen.
She throws up.
Am I fair? Is it fair for me to get mad?
You can be honest.
You have every right to.
It's human emotions. You have the right to feel what you feel. It's just how you respond to it.
Exactly. Okay. Now, if you start flipping stuff and cursing people out, that's when you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Or if you expect for them to have like exotic lemons when you've never seen the exotic lemons.
Unrealistic expectation at Walmart.
Yes. I want lemons from Fiji. Y'all don't have lemons from Fiji? It's like, bro, you ain't never seen them lemons in here.
Yeah. So. And I feel like unrealistic expectations causes harm to people.
Yes.
Or misplaced expectations.
Ooh, share on that.
For me, misplaced expectation is like expecting a rock to fly. I know that's really dumb, but I'm saying like, how are you going to expect a guy, like for some friends, for instance, some friends aren't capable for calling you every day. Because what if you're a person that likes to have a phone call from a friend every day? There's a friend who has a busier life than you. They can't call you every day. And if I'm expecting that person to call me every day, that's harming me because they can't fulfill my expectation. It's misplaced.
That's a high expectation right there.
For some people, I have friends that we talk every day. And he goes to an Ivy League school. He has a lot to do, but we end up talking every day. I can place that expectation on him because it's something that he can fulfill. Now, for my other friend, that will be a lot. I'll be asking a lot from her, and it will be stressing me out, and it will also stress her out.
But the friend at the Ivy League school, he's agreed to that, right? So
he calls me like
that's the difference, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's agreed upon, and also it's placed on me as well. It's like a mutual agreement.
Yeah. And I think, like you were just saying, but if you place it on another friend who doesn't have that agreement, then it's unrealistic.
Yes. Yeah. And I think you should adjust to life like that. Absolutely. Like, not all your friends have different purposes.
I'm going to tell you another one. Placing expectations on Karan often leads to disappointment.
Oh, God.
Okay, go ahead and explain what
Share
that
your
means.
many stories, Karan.
Man, oh man.
You got about 1 million.
I've heard a couple of them. I'm like,
you heard,
Don't
say it, Raven. Let him share. He don't want to be outed.
Nah. Go ahead.
I know. I just wanted the one that you explained about the YMCA.
Oh, yeah.
Job expectations. Ooh, they.
You signed the work agreement.
Sure did.
It was agreed upon before he started getting paid.
It wasn't agreed upon. No, we didn't even sign anything, did we, Devon?
Devon don't sign no contracts.
It was like a mental handshake with him.
That is not good business.
It was not.
I mean, do you always need written expectations?
I mean, for a job, yes, but I'm saying like,
or is it like, I mean, you can have like verbal, or just sometimes we just have like standards that's just kind of already set.
Unspoken standards.
Yeah.
Yes, unspoken standards and expectations are a thing, but when it comes to a job, depending on that type of job, really, I feel like all the expectations need to be listed out in the handbook. Because if you tell me to do something and I pull up that employee handbook and it's not in there, I ain't doing it.
People don't pull out the employee handbook.
What?
Quran
I did that.
is good for that.
What?
For reading it, yeah.
I would definitely pull that joint. I said, this don't sound right. And I would definitely pull it up and say, oh, they supposed to be paying us for mileage? They pay for mileage. They ain't doing this. They ain't doing that. They ask me,
You know, I'm going to start doing that.
I've learned from him about
that. Really?
Yeah.
Working for shady jobs.
And that's helped him.
Yeah, working for shady jobs will definitely have you look into things, like look into your rights, basically. Know what's like, okay, this is what they expect from you, and these are things that you're allowed to do, and then they start trying to get you to do stuff outside of your job duties and stuff. So yeah.
But what if?
Well, you know, jobs are good for saying you do all these things in other departmental duties.
Yeah.
That's what my job does.
Not this particular job I had. They listed out what they wanted.
They will list it out, and like Raven said, they'll have that extra like sentence that says like, and others can be added as needed. So you can never really be like, well, they ain't in here. They're like, you go to that sentence right there.
Now, when they say and others needed, make sure they're not contradicting the other ones that are listed.
You should go be a lawyer.
I was about to say
that specifically, only that.
No, yeah.
You passionate about that.
Bro, that one first TDC job I had, oh my gosh.
Karan don't like being mistreated.
What?
Well, no one does. But I'm saying like
authority.
Okay, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
No, it's not what it is. Everybody has a limit, and certain jobs push me to my limit to the point where I had to say a few things.
A whole lot of things.
Putting on the spot things.
I'll never forget that day.
When they said, Karan, let's stop this conversation before you not have a job, I said, you think I need this job?
The damage control I had to do that day. Because I was still there. I was shocked. I was like, what is going on?
That is so funny.
But it's funny, like I said, after I left that job, though, everything started coming to light.
It started unraveling more. Yeah.
All the trash.
It just takes that one person.
Because Karan and I were like holding it up. We were holding that job down.
We were the only one with a food handler's card. Yeah. And the only people who would want to like do the breakfast and lunch. I hated doing that mess every day.
I had to serve breakfast and lunch. And then when Karan left, I was like the only person that did it. And then I was promised a gift card by the supervisor that Karan fussed out. And let's just say I never got that gift card.
You should hit her up and see how she doing.
She was like, Devon, I'm going to reward you.
They always say that and they be forgetting.
I was like, all right, cool.
Keep your...
Get nothing.
That reminds me of a boss of mine tried to place expectations on me, and I turned those expectations down on the spot.
Tell them how you said it.
So at the time, I was working at a school, and I was by myself with like 5-6 kids or whatever. Yeah. He was like, if you get more kids at that school, Karan, we can essentially turn you into like, the overseer, supervisor of that school, and you have people working underneath overseer. You. Makes me sound good. I'm not there whipping people now.
That's what an overseer is, bro.
Anyway, I can't just oversee what you're doing. I ain't got to apply no whip. And he said, no, basically, if you get more kids there, you'll be a supervisor, and people will work under you, and you don't have to do much work. At the time, I'm in grad school, so I'm already stressed out, with my job, school, and trying to maintain life. And to me, that just sounded like more responsibilities. More responsibilities that I did not want. And I literally told this man, I'm just going to let you down.
I am not going to fulfill your expectations.
And he looked at me sideways and said, huh, what you mean? I said, Chuck, being honest with you, man. I'm just going to let you... That sound
like a shiesty name, Chuck.
I said, I'm just going to let you down. Like, don't give me this expectation. Just don't do it. Another time I let somebody down. I think I told y'all already.
So minute, right? I told you. He read another. Let me tell you about another time.
That time, this was before I met Devon, before I got a job at JCPenney that you laugh at. It's a respectable hustle.
In the shoe department, let's just say that too.
It's a respectable hustle. Oh my God. Bruh, shoot, I remember one time this lady came in there and like, she was no little heavyset and whatnot. You know, me being the person that
How
I
was
was.
that necessary?
Listen, because she wasn't as mobile and couldn't do certain things. So she asked me to help put a shoe on for her.
You know when you're putting a shoe on a baby?
What was wrong with
and
it?
you have to put
them feet.
What was wrong with the feet?
Them feet. My hands should not have been touching them feet. You bet I went to the bathroom and washed my hands immediately. Nothing against that lady, but I wasn't expecting that.
Were they dirty?
Crusty and all this other stuff. Yeah. They ain't been to a shop in a minute.
That is nasty.
But that too, before JCPenney, before the shoe department, Raven, QR, I had a interview at Chipotle. I went and watched a Netflix documentary and everything to try to make myself look good. They're like, you know a little bit about us? I'm like, I think I was founded in, and I was like 2 years off on purpose. Oh, that's really good, and I was really close. This is 2 years. I was like, yeah, I know, I just don't want to be perfect, but you know. And then it was like, well, here at this job, we like to have people move up within instead of hiring people outside to come be like supervisors and managers, stuff like that. They're like, Karan, so how would you like to be a manager?
Why does everybody want you to be a manager?
I don't know. They're like, how would you like to be a manager with Chipotle? I looked at that interview person. I said, no. I'm in school right now.
He said, I want to be a cook.
I'm not going to school. I'm not going to school to be a manager for Chipotle. I'm just trying to make some money now.
Put me on that line.
I said, I'm jobless right now. I'm just here so I can get paid. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Never got a call back.
In this context, I can respect your honesty. But in the moment, it's like, bro, all you gotta say was yes and get the job. That don't mean you had to be a manager.
No, but they were hiring him to be a manager.
It sounds like they were like, we'll hire you, but we also like to promote from within. How would you like to one day be a manager? Maybe that was how. Is that how they said it?
Yeah, pretty much. And like I told you before, you have to be, if you ask a question, you have to be ready to accept no as an answer. Yeah. And not be upset about it.
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
And most people can't do that. When they ask a question, they expect it to go their way. And I am not the one to let it go your way.
Come on, quick, nope.
Right.
Don't want to be a manager.
I mean, hey, you're self-aware.
Yeah.
But
should you, Karan walk everybody in his stories.
There's more there, but no, we're going to move forward.
Should you have the same expectations that you have for a romantic partner that you would have for
I just said
friends?
there was more there. I'll go ahead.
Go ahead. You got a story for that?
I mean, you got stories for all these expectations.
Go ahead. Lead us with the story, then me and Raven will talk.
Just put it out there. If I was to have a superpower, my superpower would be disappointment. Because y'all put so much expectations on me that my powers will grow stronger. So therefore, the disappointment will grow stronger.
So what should we not expect from Karan in a romantic relationship?
I don't want to say what not to expect. It's just that I tried to be more open and let them know that my feelings was not there where theirs was at. And they still try to expect me to be where they was at. And I kept telling them I'm not there. So you are miles ahead of me right now. I need to take my time and get there. So they just kept assuming and expecting that I would get there eventually. And when I didn't, they was heartbroken. Devon saying I was out here breaking hearts, but they were breaking their own hearts.
I didn't say nothing.
I mean, so it was them who had misplaced expectations, and you were just being honest with yourself.
And them.
And yeah. And you told them along the way that you're not there. Yeah. And I think that's fair. So
they weren't being honest with themselves.
When it comes to like friendships and like relationships, like romantic relationships, I feel like obviously they have two different purposes. Yeah. But
most times,
I think standards should be the same.
All right.
As in, like, in a relationship, you want your significant other to, cater to you. Y'all have a good time. Y'all, feed each other, not with food, but with, wisdom and encouragement and all those different things. And you would expect that out of a friend, right? Yeah. The same thing.
That's true.
The only thing you're not doing with a friend is, loving on them.
That's what I said most times.
So I guess in like the baseline should, in a sense, be the same in a sense.
Yeah.
And depending on which type of relationship, it's going to go towards a different route.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, but there's some people who have a great romantic relationship but have trash friends.
That is true.
Because they've never had a good set of friends before. They've never had a good friends before. So they don't really have a lot of expectations for friends.
And people always say, I ain't got no friends. It's hard to make friends. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
It can be as an adult.
It is really hard to make friends as an adult. Like, you have to be more intentional with friendships nowadays.
To help make that a little bit easier, change your scenery. Think about what you're doing in your everyday life and change it up. You know, if you like doing something, go somewhere where those people are doing that thing. Not saying you're gonna go there and make friends instantly, but you're increasing your chances to make friends of similar interests.
Of meeting people that's like-minded.
Yeah, because if you're just doing the same route every single day and you're not meeting nobody new, then
I know some people who are literally trying, like they're doing everything they can to make friends, like they're putting themselves out there and they're doing this, but people aren't just clinging on to them.
Then you might need to
reevaluate. Reevaluate themselves.
Yeah.
I thought about one person in particular when you said that.
Yeah, me too. Anyway,
I'm curious.
No, let's please, because we already called it out.
We'll tell you about it after this.
Out the loop.
For me, I have different expectations. Of course, I have basic expectations, but then I have different ones for my romantic partners. So of course, there's a romantic element. I expect, for them to be mostly available. You know what I mean? Like, for me to call, talk to, share stuff. I kind of expect that from my friends, but I also understand, like, y'all got your own lives. Y'all may have your own partners and doing X, Y, and Z. So it's not realistic, for me to always be talking to y'all in that way. I think that might be... No, that's not the only thing. I also expect if I'm with somebody, because when I date, it's to build something, long term. I expect for us to be on that page as well. Like, what are we working towards?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I'm afraid of is that once I get married, is it going to be different? Like, are my friendship expectations going to change?
What you mean?
She gonna be having married friends, so forget y'all single friends.
Yeah, and that's honestly a real fear of mine. Like, I never want to be that person who's married and just like literally just throws away all my friends, or like doesn't really cater to them or feed them or and stuff like that.
Ooh, and your partner should be,
encouraging me to stay those friends, right? But sometimes it's not even your partner. It's just like you're secluded. I don't know. So
it sounds like you're afraid that you're going to cut off yourself, and just give in to that your husband.
I know a lot of women who do that.
Is it a fair expectation to have as a friend when your other friend gets in a relationship? Is it fair to expect that they're going to have less time for you?
My best friend, she says, every time my friend gets a boyfriend, I already know that I'm going to talk to her less. And since she has that expectation, when that does actually happen, she's not surprised.
Exactly. So you're prepared.
But that's kind of sad, though.
Why?
Like, why talking to them less as in, like, okay, maybe y'all don't need to talk every day now, but I hope the friendship is still the same. I hope the friendship is still just as nourishing as it was before. Y'all just talk less.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Okay.
Because that's what me and Karan always talk about. Every time one of us gets into a relationship, he'll say...
More so DEVON, because I be swinging and missing.
He'll be like, I fall back because, you with your girl and y'all doing different things, and I know you're going to be spending the majority of your time with her.
Granted, I'm going to joke about it. Like, I'm going to joke like, man, you don't never spend time with me. You leave me behind. But he know I'm not serious about that.
I know he understands. And same with him. Like, when he gets in relationships, I'm understanding that he's going to be spending time with her. And
I had a friend one time with the opposite sex tell me, when I get into a relationship, Karan, I'm not going to forget about you. We still been talking, hanging out and all that. I said, no, we're not. I said, I'm expecting you to talk to me less if you get to a romantic relationship with another guy.
Yeah.
Said, no, we best friends. No, we gonna talk, blah, blah, blah. Get into a relationship, deuce.
Yeah. Because it's harder from my experience for men to be as accepting as male friends. It might be hard for women too, but I guess that's probably why, because it's like boundaries then.
I wasn't even mad when I already knew it was coming. It's expected to happen.
Yeah, that's like if Raven's to get into a relationship, I'm not gonna text her past a certain time. Because just out of respect and for boundaries.
It's more respect for the guy, not really for me.
For your relationship.
Yeah, for the relationship.
Okay, I guess.
For your relationship.
Well, let Raven text me. Say if I'm booed up and Raven texts me at 11 o'clock at night, I'm like, let me go toss my phone here real quick.
So assuming what I'm saying, exactly. If your girl knows who I am, I've met her, we had game nights, we're all cool, and she sees the text and it's just about the podcast. I
don't know. Raven did say she was a homewrecker.
I am not a homewrecker. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have even said it like that.
But you did.
I will never do that. Oh, that's so disgusting.
If she watched the podcast, she's like, nah, Karan, I listen.
Oh my goodness. So what are the differences between boundaries and expectations then? Because I feel like that's what we're talking about. Like, you wouldn't be loving all up on your romantic relationship and not your, on your friends. Like, there's boundaries.
Most people.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, because you got some people that have situationships and friends with benefits.
And polygamy and open relationships.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
For monogamous relationships.
There's like boundaries that you would have with romantic relationships in.
Yeah. And it depends on your partner. I've had relationships where my significant other didn't necessarily like for me to have female friends. And as I look at my life now, I have more female friends than I have male friends. So if I meet somebody, she has to be okay with that. Because I'm not going, I do the podcast with Raven. I'm not just going to cut. I got to talk to her. My other friends.
Wear a plastic bag, make sure she's not a woman.
You said what?
She got to wear a plastic bag and have a voice modulator. This is cute.
And I got other female friends, and I enjoy talking to them, and it's platonic. So whoever I meet has to be understanding, and I would be understanding if she had male friends as long as there are boundaries in place. That's my expectation. You can have friends of the opposite sex, but there got to be boundaries in place.
I would say my expectation for them having the opposite sex friends would be they was friends before we met.
What if she makes a friend while y'all are together, like a work friend?
That is cool, as long as she keeping it at that.
Boundaries, right?
Yeah, boundaries.
I guess.
Yeah, she out here. Come here.
I mean, because I literally have a lot of guy friends, and I, of course, have boundaries. Like, I don't talk to my best friend Silas about, like, relationships and, like, you know how you'll talk to your girlfriends about, like, oh, last night.
I ain't got girlfriends.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking to the podcast. Like, girls, y'all have friends, y'all talk to, y'all talk about, like, maybe intimate things with guys, but I would never talk about those things with my guy best friend. Like, that's a boundary we have. Like, I'm not going to tell him all the tea on that because it's weird. Does that make sense?
Raven has told me some things. Y'all.
I have not. Oh no. But yeah, but I don't want to change the conversation so fast, but I do have a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
All right.
So what about the expectation that you have on yourself?
Ooh. Those are the most important expectations.
I think so.
Hey, what do you think about it?
What I asked you, what do you think about it?
It's Women's Month, so
I'll go. I guess I feel like expectation that you have on yourself. It can be from my personal experience, like if it's not done in a graceful way, it can be very condemning. So for example, like if I'm expecting myself to get all A pluses, I can definitely put that expectation on myself, I guess. But now that I'm doing this podcast, I have basically a full-time job, and I'm trying to also implement self-care. If I put that expectation that I get all A pluses and I get a B plus or a B minus, I would be you have to be gracious with yourself. You can still have the goal of, having A pluses so you can do the best that you can, but like allowing there to be room for grace. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an expectation you have yourself while you're in grad school?
Are you asking me if that's what I have on myself right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made an A and 2 B pluses last semester.
That's dope.
Were you upset because you had to be?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was happy because one, we're the whole panorama. And then two, like, it was my first time in grad school, first time adjusting to this new job in a whole new city by myself. Yeah. I applauded myself, for keeping a good GPA.
And that's healthy.
Yeah.
You are understanding. It's realistic.
Yeah. I thought you were saying that. I thought you were going to say that you do have an expectation that you expect yourself to get A's across everything.
Well, I did expect it. I did expect to get good grades like A's because that's what I did in undergrad. Like, I got A's. So imagine if I kept that expectation for myself in graduate school, I probably would have been upset.
Yeah.
First semester of grad school for me, talk to a TA. Karan, just pass. When you graduate, you got your master's. Nobody's going to say, what was your GPA in grad school? You got your master's too.
Unless you go to doctorate school, but...
I ain't doing that.
No, yeah.
I think you should.
No. I thought about that for a day, and I said no.
Everybody encouraged Karan to be a Dr. Walker.
A PhD got the hold on the black community. Everyone's always pushing us
I don't
to
like
get a
research.
PhD.
I'm more hands-on applied.
I think we should emphasize that. Research is tough. It's trash. It's boring. It's ugly.
I think it depends on what you're doing and if you're passionate.
That's what they say.
You can do something so interesting that you've been passionate about, but it comes down to if you don't want to write up that report,
that dissertation,
Jane
Goodall been with them gorillas for a minute. She been researching them.
Okay, but she likes research. She likes the research. You have to like writing and
personality.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Anyways,
I hate that, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how I passed my program, to be honest.
You gotta be type A to do a dissertation, and I am not.
I'm done with school. I'm 30, man. I gotta get my life together.
You ain't that old.
Yeah, you're still young.
Huh?
Older than y'all.
I'm 27,
Okay.
boy.
Look at me. Got this old 2015 MacBook with up key missing.
Everything old.
Can't even upgrade.
Some expectations I have for myself are to work out consistently, take care of my body, be diligent, be consistent with my studies and with my goals, and to be a good person. And I try to keep them broad and not so specific, because if I get really specific, that's when I stop being as compassionate. Like you said, it's kind of become harsh when I don't meet those expectations. And I don't like doing that to myself, because you have to be compassionate with all expectations. You have to be understanding. You have to be compassionate.
I think that's where I struggled with, because all last semester I eradicated all of my expectations for myself, because I didn't want to disappoint myself if I didn't meet those expectations. So for me, I wanted to do devotionals. I wanted to wake up and do meditations and, all these different things. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to scrap all of it because I keep letting myself down. So I said, I'm not going to have expectations for myself anymore. And it kind of didn't help at all. Like I was just unbalanced. I didn't have anything for myself. I wasn't filling myself up with things. I was just doing what I pleased. And it didn't really help. But now that you're saying, like, being compassionate with yourself as you're implementing these expectations, I feel like it's important.
And knowing that some days it's okay not to have expectations, but to go like a whole stretch, that might not be so good.
I mean, but I don't regret doing that, honestly, because that was also around the time where I was deconstructing my faith as well. So I needed to delete everything and start from the ground up at the same time. Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense.
But yeah.
For me, before we skip over me,
we weren't gonna skip.
I just making sure, but
somebody insecure.
All right.
Issa Rae put me on the show.
What? I was gonna sing it, but I'm not.
I'll probably say the number one expectation I have of myself is to be kind to myself. Because like Raven just listed, all these things I want to do, and I don't get to them. Yeah. So I don't get myself down, because it's so many things on my plate that I want to do. Yeah. That when I sometimes think about trying to do them all, I just get burnt out and tired. Yeah. So
just thinking about it. Like, nah.
I want to practice guitar. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this, and I work out. It's sometimes just too. I don't have enough time in my day to feel like.
I'd be like that. Yeah.
So no more things like to be kind to myself while still trying to work on those things.
Practice self-care, right? I think we probably all have that expectation.
And I figure what works best for me when I am implementing it, if I have an action plan and I can see it, I can write on that action plan. Like I have a dry erase board calendar in my room. Whenever I do change the month, update it, everything I'm supposed to.
Karan's still on July.
I got. I didn't write February though. It was January for the longest. Just put March up there and the dates, but I didn't put nothing in.
Gotcha.
But when I was good with it, I would write down all the times that I would go to the gym, all the times I practice my guitar, and I could see, okay, this is how I'm doing this week, this month.
Okay.
Can I
rather than pre-setting it for yourself?
Yeah, so I can look at it. It's okay. I went to the gym 3 days a week, so 3, 6, 9, 12 times a month. That's pretty decent. Yeah. How many times did I practice guitar? Ooh. Yeah. I only practiced 4 times this month. That means I practice every day before going to band practice. So I look at that like, well, okay, at least I did practice, but I can do better. So I try to aim myself to do better next time.
So it sounds like you're still implementing compassion and allowing yourself room for growth,
knowing that I'm not going to succeed at every single thing every single time.
Exactly. I have some days like that. Sometimes I hit all the marks of the things I want to do in a day, and sometimes I get toward the end of the day and I'm tired and burnt out, and I still got like 3 things I want to do, and I'm like, nah, I don't got time for it. I don't got the energy for it.
Sometimes you gotta. It reminds me of when I was saying, like, every day, like, wake up and ask yourself what you need, rather than having... I
like that.
Yeah, rather than having, okay, I'm going to go downstairs and meditate, and I'm speaking for you specifically because it's where you meditate. But, like, I'm going to go downstairs and meditate, but sometimes you don't even need that. Sometimes you just need to go, get you some tea, and just sit in front of the window and watch the sunrise. Like, that could be something that because expectations don't need to be forever and solid forever. Like, leave room for change and growth, and add something new to your life.
Sometimes you need to lay in bed and just relax.
We used to see old Devon back in the day, boy.
Old Devon.
If I ain't doing this, now I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
See.
What's wrong about that?
That sounds like me. I was the same way. Yeah. So
I had to change that.
Yeah.
I had one professor tell me, because like when I was working full time and doing grad school full time, it really took like almost to the end of my career at grad school to realize this. And I always talk about going to work full time, working with 5, 6, 7 kids. Got to do the paperwork. Got to go to class. Got to go home do homework. Got to do this. And the professor was like, "Karan, what have you done so far today?" "Well, I've been working. I did this and I did that, and I made it here on time. I did this. I'm here now." He said, "Karan, you've done enough."
Yeah.
It took for him to say that to me, that I've done enough, and realize like I've done a lot already today. I don't need to kill myself and run myself into the ground trying to complete every single thing.
Exactly. But I think America makes it seem like we have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be productive during the day from 9 to 5, in order to attain your dreams. Yeah. And for some cases it is, you do have to put in some effort and work, but it's just like, I feel like all of us at the table do not want to kill ourselves to get to where we need to go.
I just want to say this out there too. Those people who do wake up early and start their day early and are productive early, leave us people alone who start our day later.
Yeah.
If you go to bed, 10 o'clock and wake up at 7 o'clock and got your 8 hours sleep, I don't do the math, I didn't do the math, but you got your 8 hours sleep at that time, that's great for you. If I only get my 8 hours sleep starting at 3 o'clock in the morning and start my day at 12, and I still can be productive, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm productive at a different time of day opposed to you. So stop shaming people who start their day later.
Because
I be texting them at 12 a.m. at night, and that's when my night getting started.
Who you telling? I feel that's when I had the time to myself. I've been through the whole day and I didn't do anything for myself. So now 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I can do something for myself.
That's what the phone is shutting down.
Yeah, but he wakes up. He wakes up really early too. But I get it. Oh,
I'll be struggling.
Well, I take naps though, so that really helps. Everyone's different, and I'm more productive at night.
You don't have to be productive first thing in the morning to be successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it fair to cut off people that aren't meeting your expectations?
I'm gonna say no.
It's not fair.
If your expectations are realistic, achievable, and attainable, and they have been discussed between both parties.
So you're saying it's not fair to cut them off? If you gonna say no.
Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
So my question was, is it fair to cut off people if they're not meeting your expectations? And you said no.
No, if like I said, if everything's been discussed, had a meeting and everything about it, I guess, I kind of know what this friendship is about.
So you're saying yes, it is fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's fair to cut someone off if they're not respecting your boundaries. But when it comes to expectations, I feel like before you have to introspect and see, is this what I want to put? Do I want to place this expectation on this person? So, for example, like if you're talking to somebody in your relationship, y'all aren't dating yet, but you're like getting to know them, and you're like, well, for me, I kind of want this in a relationship. Like I want to have this particular thing in a relationship, and they can't reach that, then. And I'm like, but this is really important for me. And I'm okay, I can stop with this relationship and just, not do that. Yeah. But when it comes to other things, for example, if my friend can't call me every day, then maybe I'm like, okay, maybe I need to, chill out.
I don't feel like those are just cause reasons to end a friendship.
Not to end a friendship, but it should. You have to think about what your expectations are and who you're placing it on first before you choose to end that relationship. Because you could be ending a friend who literally does everything for you. Like they are not everything for you, but they're a really, really good friend. But just because they don't reach an expectation for you, then
I think expectation is hard because I've been thinking about this throughout the whole episode. It's so intertwined with like boundary standards. It's not just really separated. They're really intertwined within each other. Like you said, the person's not respecting that boundary, that's an expectation. I'm expecting you to respect that boundary.
Okay.
It's so intertwined, so how you talk about it, it's kind of...
Okay.
I think you got to identify, are my expectations realistic?
Yeah, like I said.
And once you get past that point, is this person able to meet these expectations? Can I change these expectations without harming myself? And if you are able to change them without harming yourself, then go ahead and change them if you value that relationship.
Okay, I think you basically just wrapped up what me
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
But if it's like,
did you just say what I just said, but smarter?
Yes. But if it's a basic expectation, like, you know, don't speak to me in a harsh way. Maybe you have some kind of trauma associated with that. You've explained that to this person and you're like, please don't do this. And you've done it. You've had to repeat it time and time again and they just can't seem to get it. Cut them off.
You know, for me, expectation in friendship, no. I want somebody to bring me peace and not, no.
I think you said pizza.
No. Nah, I don't need to be fat. But pineapple pizza would be nice. But
no,
peace.
Pineapple pizza with pepperonis on it. I need more than just.
Okay, no.
But
you just got canceled. Continue.
But
peace. They want them to bring.
You bring me peace instead of like disturbing my peace.
Yes.
If you're constantly disrupting my peace, that's you're.
All my relationships. We've talked about this numerous times.
You gotta go.
All my relationships.
You gotta go. I can't maintain that. That's not something I want to maintain. Expect for myself to maintain this toxic, in a sense, relationship.
Cause I'll be chilling.
But for example, I kind of disturbed my own peace by putting expectations.
Cut yourself off.
Yeah.
Jump out your body.
No, I'm saying I misplaced my own peace by expecting people to do these things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're messing up your own peace.
So, okay, you don't necessarily have to cut them off, but they can be demoted. You know, that's another idea. Like,
decrease.
You know, maybe they need to
go down in tears.
Yeah, like your best friend. Maybe like, okay, maybe you're not my best friend. Maybe you're my friend. You know, I could talk to you about this, but I wouldn't talk to you about that. I can invite you here, but I would never invite you here.
Yeah,
I can see Raven right now hurting a lot of people's feelings. Yeah. Danielle, we need to talk.
No.
So remember how you was on my top A list of best friends?
Now you're.
I'm gonna have to bring you down to a B minus. You know, you went from best friend to good friend now, and Danielle just gonna say, but we did shrinky dinks. Didn't that mean anything?
What is shrinky dinks?
Y'all for shrinky dinks? Oh man.
Oh, that's a thing. I thought you just made that up.
Nah, that's
a whole thing.
Sorry, I wasn't born in the 50s.
That's her showing her age. You lucky we weren't born. You know what they were doing in the 50s? What guys were doing? Come home, smoke cigarettes, beat their wife and whatnot, and still expect them to maintain the family.
I went dark real quick. It's
Women's
History Month,
Look,
bro.
I'm
saying
get it together.
That's what they did with the nuclear family in the 50s.
Get it together.
Not the nuclear family in the 50s.
That's what they did.
But no, I mean, I'll never hold that. That's an awkward conversation to have. You can just move accordingly.
Nah, I tell Devon all the time when you mess up.
You
going down in rank.
We have this joke about grades and ranks. Yeah.
We rank our friends.
Like, you ain't no B friend no more, Karan. You a C minus. I need you to step it up.
His expectations be
nah, it ain't no awkward.
That is a very awkward.
It ain't awkward.
It's even funny when you put somebody else over him.
Yes. For Karan too.
Yikes.
Karan, you been demoted. Raven's been promoted.
How you feel about that?
Raven's been demoted on my list because she told me I wasn't doing my job when I was.
You're right.
Wow.
You know what? It can't be Raven because she talks trash.
I do talk mad trash.
You know what?
How do y'all feel about this quote? Your expectations aren't even yours.
Who said it?
Sadhguru.
What did he mean by it?
You know, when you're comparing yourself on social media.
I get that.
Yeah. Like, your expectations aren't even yours. You're seeing someone else flourish and you put that expectation on yourself.
Okay.
You know, it's not even yours. It's not meant for you.
It makes me think about the 4 agreements and how we've been socialized to think. So that's what I thought about. So I'm thinking about it from the standpoint of you have these expectations, but they came from like your mother and father and community and stuff like that.
Or you want to be a millionaire, but that's not even for you.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. No, I'm just saying. A lot of people have the dream to be a millionaire, but that's not even what your purpose is supposed to entail.
Yeah, some people are like, I just want to fish. I'd be fine living in a fisherman village, like, chilling. Not me, like the life. Specifically. But
I don't need money. I need money, obviously, to survive, but...
Nah, give me your money.
Right? 50-50 tomorrow.
If I were to have all of my needs met and still have the resources to discover the world of myself... that's perfectly fine for me.
So by all your needs, which needs? Because we look at Maslow hierarchy of needs.
Well, I'm saying like needs as in like, like, okay, you just pulled it up. Psychological needs. Like I am being, psychological needs. I'm being, wait, what? That's not even the right one.
It's one of them. Dang. Food, water, warmth.
Yeah, my bed, food, AC, heat if it's needed. Safety needs, like I feel secure in my home. I have a door to my house.
Basic needs. It's psychological, esteem and belonging and love.
Mm-hmm. I have a family that loves me. I have support. I have friends. And then self-actualization, which that's what I was talking about being able to, for me, self-actualization means traveling the world and gaining my perspective on different people's and ideas.
If you got the whole needs met, then that's great. Not a lot of people reach the top. People
can't even meet the first basic needs, as in some people are homes insecure, food insecure.
Yeah.
If you're constantly trying to survive and you can't even
get out of the survival state to go up.
Exactly. I don't even want to talk about that. I hate the idea that some people aren't even past the second tier.
It makes me think about this one book. I haven't read the whole thing, but it's called the 40-Hour Work Week. Mm-hmm. And he talks about how, we are taught to get these jobs that pay you a certain amount of money, but these jobs are taking so much of your time. So he talks about one person making $100K and another person making $50K. The $100K person works 80-hour weeks. The $50K person works 40-hour weeks. He's like, they're basically making the same. One person's working more, they make more, but they don't have the time to enjoy their life. Yeah. Other person works less and has the resources. He's like, stop trying to chase money necessarily and chase jobs that provide you with opportunity to live life how you want to live.
I'm chasing a lifestyle.
Yes.
Let the bag chase you, y'all.
Right.
Words from Quran.
It reminds me of that meme. I'm tired of chasing the bag. Can the bag chase me?
You broke his hell, listen to me.
All right. No, for real. But, that's why I've been trying to, I was juggling between, where I want to work. Obviously I want to be a therapist, but do I want to, do private practice or work in a college counseling, have it set 9 to 5 rather than make my own schedule?
Yeah.
It's because, I don't even look at how much they make, honestly. Yeah. I'm looking for something that I can make my own schedule kind of and have time to travel and stuff like that.
It's just so hard because a lot of jobs with more money comes more stress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not every job's going to, because you make more money, it's going to be easy.
And more responsibilities.
So the job I have now, I'm broke as I don't know what, but I am stress free. And I enjoy that, but at the same time, I need money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said, there's been times where I worked jobs, I was making good money, but I was so stressed out. Mm-hmm. Devon, he's seen me at those times, just stressed out all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the money though.
Oprah, I need you to come save me from this life. Please.
Oprah just got on her jet and just come pick you up right
now. I'll be gone today. What podcast?
I'm weak.
I started a podcast with Oprah.
You're fake. I'm weak.
Let me go to the next podcast.
It's going to be called Me and My Baby Oprah.
Ew. I keep imagining things that I shouldn't. But anyways, all right. Are we going to the redirect corner?
We can, yeah, because we've kind of talked a lot about different things. We could talk about that last time.
I just want to put this out there, with the whole expectations, we kind of was here and there, but there's so much more that we could talk about expectations that we just kind of feel like we don't have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we do, but, we don't want to give y'all a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, I ain't watching no ways. Being realistic.
For our 29 listeners out there.
Right.
Y'all good.
It's okay. I enjoy all of those 29 listeners.
Absolutely.
Just engage with us now.
We appreciate y'all.
Go ahead and give us 5 stars or rate us, honestly, and give us a comment down on our podcast and on our YouTube channel.
If you do, Karan will send you money.
Yes, this week.
I'm not going to specify how much, but he will send you money.
After he just said he has no money.
Karan be sending people 30 cents.
Send people thoughts and prayers.
That's even better. That's better than money.
I'm weak.
Send it to y'all right now. I got it.
That was too quick. You didn't say nothing, boy.
Right.
What'd you say to God? You just said God.
For the redirect corner, for those who feel like every single person in the world needs to meet their expectations, what do we say to them?
Shut up.
You always telling people in the corner to shut up.
They in the corner for a reason.
It grabs their attention.
Yeah, shut
it's
up.
It's provocative. It gets the people going.
It's like, bam, in your face. Shut up. No, our expectations are not realistic. They have to be achievable, attainable. Mm-hmm. What's that?
Smart.
It's like a smart.
Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely.
I believe that. So I'm gonna go with her. But yes, they need to be all that, and stop having these unrealistic ones. Stop misplacing them. You don't need other people to meet. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Everybody doesn't have to meet your expectations to make you happy. Make yourself happy first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think you'll be putting yourself at a disadvantage if you had the expectation for everyone to meet your expectation. Like, it hurts you more than anything because you leave yourself in disappointment. Rather than that, just either adjust your expectations and be adaptable to people. One thing that I've learned is accept people for who they are without the fear of you leaving them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like allowing people to make mistakes and not always meet your expectations, and leaving them room and having grace with them and even yourself when you place expectations on yourself.
Yeah, you're not going to be happy if you have all these long lists of expectations for people, and people aren't going to always be able to meet them. So you need to change that, and you need to evaluate your expectations. Are they realistic, like Karan said? Can people meet these? And can you meet your own expectations? And lastly, you probably have a problem with control, so you might want to talk to somebody about that.
And lastly, like I did that. You said lastly. Yeah. So last thing I want to say is you want everybody to meet your expectations, but are you meeting everybody else's expectations?
Ooh. Yeah.
So shut up.
I like that. Yeah. Can you meet other people's expectations? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
with that being said, we're going to go ahead and roll this bad boy up.
Bad woman.
Bad woman, yes.
It's Women's History Month.
Bad Mamma Jamma.
There you go.
So cringy. Come on now.
I was trying to think of something to say and I couldn't think of nothing.
Yeah.
I had no rebuttal. Enjoy that moment. Don't get me
It's not going to happen.
Happiness isn't a product you see. Happiness is a product of the choices you make.
I was about to say Ravens one. Live life as though each moment is a gift from your creator.
And everyone be grateful for the twists in the road. They teach us grace and humility.
Let's see if Raven can meet this expectation real quick.
I was going to watch.
Okay. And please engage with us on our social medias, on Instagram and Facebook at the Redirekt Podcast. And go ahead and subscribe on each of our platforms and comment down below what you think of this podcast.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to say, Redirekt out.
Karan, you were late.
Thanks for watching, guys. As always, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube to stream our episodes. Also, connect with us via Instagram and Facebook at the Redirekt Podcast. And be sure to share, like, subscribe, and comment. Redirekt out.